reason for this book is mainly because of this accident. After being in clinical death and seeing the other side, in the beginning I did not want to believe that I'm on the other side, but seeing the other side, and I still was thinking that I'm in a hospital and talking to the doctors. Only when they told me that we recommend you to go back and finish your work, only then I knew I'm on the other side. And then when I know I'm on the other side, I try to remember anything I see and to absorb any information I can, lock it up in memory, and then I keep up. I told him, okay, I go back on the other side, but I'm not going back like that, because the head lost part of the brain, the neck, the hands, the ribs, the knees, and the foot all broken up. And I said, if I go back like that, I'm not going to finish the work. I'm going to be a work on the people around me. If you send me back like that, I'm taking a gun, I'm shooting myself in the head, and I'll be back here in 2 seconds. No way. I'm not going back. So they said, okay, we're going to help you in the recovery. You recover fast. So, oh boy, here we go again. Go back to work. Never finish. No work all the time. So I said, okay, I'll go back. And when I woke up, and the first thing I did tell the doctors, don't touch me. I want the proof to make sure that everything's going to be okay. They told me the recovery is going to be fast. In 2 weeks, I'm leaving this hospital. So the doctor says, yeah. You're full with morphine. We heard that before. But I said, so I tell them, don't touch me, please. And they didn't. They didn't touch me. The only thing I did was the x-rays. And as a matter of fact, the x-rays got them so confused that they had to do me twice x-rays just to make sure that this is me, because they thought that they mixed it up. That's another story by itself. I think there is something there about it in the book. Now, I can only tell you that since then, the recovery was kind of hard. And many times I was like thinking, oh boy, what did I do? Why tell them I go back to finish the work? Maybe I should stay there. The hell with it. But I did know that it's always back on my mind that they told me the recovery is going to be okay, and they told me we'll be able to finish the work. And I did know that if I'm not going to finish this work on this cycle, I'll have to come back again and do it again. I said, no, I'm already there.
What work are you talking about?
Every person who is here, you have a certain job that you have to do. And this job is the job that you gave yourself to do before you were born. Now I'm telling it to you because after the accident, I didn't work for about almost 3 years. It took me some time to recover. And in this recovery situation, I did talk to other people at clinical death, and I had the opportunity to ask them questions, and I was looking much more deeper into it. Plus, I talked to about 11 of them that we all sat together and we talked about each one his own experience. So I learned a lot, and that's why I knew I have to finish part of the book. Part of the job is this book to let people know what's going on the other side. I learned a lot, I can tell you that. There's no hell. There's no hell. I just look in here and I saw Dante's book. Dante is completely, he's completely throwing people away. There's no hell. There was never hell. There is God. This is something that I had a problem as a kid, because I did come from an Orthodox Jewish home where they go to synagogue and they pray every time, and I always have a question: where is God? Where is God? If God is there, how come life is so miserable? How come people are like that? I never get the answers, and that's why I was completely resentful of God in my family since I was a kid. It took me this accident to realize that there is God. There is people who work. There is a whole world on the other side, and it's connected into this world. Where is the other side? The other side is here. It's in this dimension, in just different envelope of frequencies. I don't know how to explain that, but it's very easy to understand that if you know a little bit of radio. Boris here knows a little radio. We are the material. Everything that we touch here, we touch because it's basically stable. It's become, this is a metal, this is wood, this is meat, this is muscle, this is this, this is that. Why? Because it's in this frequency that everything is stabilized. If this frequency is changed, the envelope of frequency is changed, you can have the same world, another world running in here, but in the different frequency. The same thing in a radio, in a radio that you have in your own hand. When you flip the station, does that mean there's only one station? No, there is gazillion stations out there. You are able only to listen to one because you stabilize certain frequency according to that. That's how this world works in the same way, work in the radio, that's the same way it works in here. So knowing that there is God, and knowing what's going on the other side, and knowing because of that, and because of the work that I did, and because of my natural work I do when I build patents for different factories, different customers. They want certain things, and I tell them, okay, I go to a customer, you tell me the problem. I said, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this. He said, no, it's not going to work. I said, hey, it's okay. You do your job, I do my job, and let's see in the end. If it doesn't work, you don't pay me. You pay me only when it's work. So yes, I learned a lot of things about what's going on in here, all the way from energy to religion to business to this whole thing. That's one of the reasons of this book, and I think they want me from the other side to finish this book, because I didn't want to write the book. I hate writing. I like doing. I like getting things done. And as far as writing, I give it to engineers just to sign up the project or whatever it is in there. Just go ahead, get it done with, and I do the job. I like to do the job myself. I like to get into the nitty-gritty of the project, or the problem, wherever it is. So in there, I also learned about religion. Now, I gotta tell you, so there is a lot of things that people have to understand to see what's going on. First of all, you don't live once. People go, oh, you only live once. No, that's not true. You don't live once. There is many cycles. How many cycles? Infinite. Infinite of cycles. How many people there is on the world? There's infinite type of souls out there. There's no limit. Okay? Now, this is very important for people to understand. It's like, oh, we only live once. We try to accumulate this once we can. No, let go. Let go. Everything is okay. There is a reason for all of it. Before you will come here, as I talked to Boris earlier, told me all about cancer, about this. Before we come here, as a soul, we choose to come here. Why do we choose to come here? We choose to come here because heaven, where we come from, it's boring. It's boring. There's nothing to do there. Everything you want is there. If I take you right now and I put you in a 5-star, 10-star hotel, and I tell you anything you want is there, stay there, but you must stay there. Well, guess what? For a lazy person, he can be there for a long time. But somebody who likes to do things, after about 2-3 weeks, let me get the hell out of here. I want to do something. I'll get crazy. That's why heaven is heaven is for lazies. I know, yes. But the major lazies, they're not coming here. They're still there. They don't want to come here. It's work. We have to work. You are put in here. Now, you choose your structure. You choose a male or female. As a soul, you're not male or you're not female. You're energy. You choose either whatever Shakespeare said the best. This world is a stage, and we come in here to play a certain act. We get out of here, we go back to heaven. Relax. Everything's good. No problem. One of the things I realized and I knew from the other side is when I was waiting on the line and coming to see the council. As soon as I go to see the council, they talk to me just like they saw me a second ago. Otherwise, if I go back and I come in here, you see me just like nothing happened. That's exactly how they talk to me, which I didn't understand in the beginning. It took me some time to understand. And what I understood, that the cycle of life that here looks very long, 70, 80, 100 years old, it's very long. Over there is like that. What does that mean? That's why, then I understood why people choose tough life. You can choose very tough life that somebody even burn your life. If life is a choice, and somebody, you choose that to do some kind of problem that you're going to be burned alive, why would you choose that? Well, you choose that because on the other side, you look at this life as nothing. So even though you knew before you were born that you eventually in your life on earth, you will get burned alive, but you know for the long run, when you get back to the soul world, into heaven, it's going to be worth it. Because you're not going to feel it. It's nothing. It really is nothing. It's like that. That's it. It's very simple. That's what it is. In this book, I tried to get this whole story about how the system works between here and the other side. How and what we should learn from what we have on the other side, and how we can change our life. And by changing our life, by understanding what's going on, by fighting ignorance, by getting a picture of the whole system, what's really going on here, eventually and slowly, we're going to make a little switch in the head. And that switch is going to take you to the direction, to the positive direction. Everything that you have here right now, everything that where you are, you knew it 10, 15, 20 years earlier. You knew it. You knew what kind of car you want to have. But you know what you wanted, and slowly your mind gets you attracted into it. So people say, oh, well, my life was so miserable today. Did I know it? Yes, you know it, But you keep up with it, eventually you will get out of it. Okay, so there is a reason why things happening. So so that's one of the reasons for this book. So this book started about situation that happening in Africa, and basically where the politicians who are controlling our life today, controlling our system today, from all around the world, they're the one who are supposed to do the work for us. But instead of doing the work for us, what they do, they work for themselves and they leave the system messed up. And there is problems all around the world, and our life becoming tougher and tougher, and it's very, very difficult to get us where we really want to get. I was talking to some friends, tell me, oh, you know, America is the land of the free. Yes, America is the land of the free, but you cannot be free if you don't have money in your pocket. And I'm not talking millions. I'm talking about decent money, so you don't have to work like a dog and just pay mortgage and pay this and pay that and always be enslaved to the system. In this book, there is a way, there is a story how people become free. The name of the book is Step to Salvation, because I believe that if people understand what life really is, our life is going to be just like in salvation time. What does that mean, salvation time? Salvation time, when we understand that there is God, but God is non-Jew, is non-Muslim, is non-Christian, is none of those things. He is God, belongs to everybody. Everybody comes from the same source of energy. In this book, there is no more Islam, no more Judaism the way we understand that, no more Christianity. It's one God, and everybody following the same system more or less. Of course, you're always going to have 20% who are going to be a little wacko on the side, always going to stay where they are. 20% is a lot, usually about 10%. But the majority of the people will understand that there is God. And the majority of the story in there is about, majority of the laws in there is Jewish laws, but it's not really tough laws. It's easy laws. Laws about the Ten Commandments, a little extra, with kosher food, with this, with that. But it's all about common sense. It's using common sense. And in it, if we live our life according to common sense, and we open our mind, and we start looking in a positive direction, and we start thinking about those things, eventually our life will start shifting into that. Because of the system the way it is right now, and because of the negative information that we get, and because of the tough life that we get, instead of moving forward, we're moving backwards. Life becoming more and more tougher. You know, it's hard to pay rent, it's hard to pay mortgage, it's hard to do that. Fuel becoming more expensive. Evil taking all around the world. I was talking earlier about the examples about Islam. What's really going on here? Now, our politicians don't do nothing. Islam is a very violent type of religion. Anybody read the Quran? Nobody read the Quran. The Quran, when I read the Quran, then I knew why these people are acting up like that. In looking into the Quran and looking into what's really going on here, how many people know that the West Bank, sections of Iraq, sections of Syria, sections of Jordan, 70% of Jordan, about 20% of Egypt, big sections is what we call the lost 10 tribes. They're not lost. They converted to Islam. They were forced to convert to Islam. Now, look at the Palestinians and look at Israel. They're the same blood, brothers, the same thing. So how come these people are so crazy and these people are so productive? What's going on here? It's all about the ideology. If you have a good and positive ideology who propel you to do good things, you become good. If you have a violent ideology, you become violent. And that's where the problem. The problem is that we have the wrong ideology. I hope with this book to help people to understand how important is the ideology of being positive and doing the positive thing and fighting the evil. We have to fight the evil. We have to shift it back, and there's no other way around it. If you don't do that, evil will take you over. And that's exactly what's going on today. Evil taking us over. Everywhere you go. Mainly on your pocket, you know, which is only pocket means freedom. When life becoming very hard to make a living, it's affecting your freedom. You cannot do that. You cannot do this. You cannot do a lot of things that you should do. And we're losing our soul and we're losing our direction, only dealing with material gain and materialistic things. Fighting every day is a fight. No reason for it. No reason for it, because we are not material in our essence. We are not bone and structure. Yes, there is bone and structure, But that's not who we are. We are souls. We are spiritual souls. And this spiritual soul knows that. Matter of fact, I'll tell you something else that I also learned. Every night when you go to sleep, you know what happens?
No.
When you go to sleep, your body is sleeping. What happened to the soul?
It's working.
Soul, go up to heaven.
Oh, it's in here.
Go up to heaven. See exactly what's going on. Having a lot of fun. Having fun, talking to people, see what's going on. But when you come back again, it does not tell you what's going on. It's not allowed to tell you because we are here on a test. Certain amount of time, certain job, certain things. We finish here, get the hell out of here, go back to heaven. Relax. Stay in heaven, very short time. Oh man, this is too boring. Okay, I have to choose another thing. Now you choose what I'm going to do, where I'm going to be. I'm going to be a male or female. I'm going to live here, I'm going to live there. What kind of disease I'm going to have. I need to have certain load, certain headache. So I choose the disease. I'm going to have a cancer, I'm not going to have a cancer. I'm going to have bronchitis, I'm going to have asthma, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have... You choose that. You choose which family, all of it is known to you. But when you come in, you don't know nothing. Like, you're just born and you're like a little kid. You are between animal and soul and you're very confused. They sent me over here to tell you, no, wake up. Your souls, wake up. We need to see ourselves as souls. And we need to get back into what we really are. As a matter of fact, everything I'm saying right now about us being souls, about material, the way we become, I can today, because of science, I can prove it. As a matter of fact, in it, today I saw a program, National Geographic. There is a bunch of links in the book, and in the end of it, you check up those links. There is a lot of it. I try to bring a lot in YouTube type of segment because YouTube, it's much easier to just watch YouTube and start reading. You know, it's much more fun. Okay, so you sit there and you watch in YouTube. So you can watch about the Palestinian Jews. You see where I'm coming from. You see what's going on with people who chose to be chose. They have no choice. If Islamic army come to your village and tell, hey, listen, you will become Muslim, we're going to cut your head off. So, okay, I become Muslim. So the first generation kind of Muslim, but the second one and the third, they become completely Muslims. Matter of fact, all the way until 1948, before Israel became a country, you still have in villages where today completely fanatic Islamic, you still have synagogues existing in those places. Some of those crazy Muslims, they still, only when they die, they tell the kids, oh, you know, when we're originally Jews, all right? And if you look good, they hide the Bible, they hide the mezuzah, they hide those little things. And they hide them because they don't want nobody to see that. They're afraid they are completely took over by evil and fanatic philosophy that they cannot get out of it. I think, you know, when people ask me, oh, what do you think about what's going on in Israel? I tell you what I think. I think God is challenging us right now. I know there is God. And He's giving us a choice. God always acting up in something that we think, oh, is very violent. It's not violent. All these people who die away in Auschwitz and concentration camp, they didn't die. They're up in heaven. I'm telling you, they're up in heaven. From God's eyes, God sent Hitler. He gave him the permission to do that. Why give him the permission to do that? Because the Jews over in Europe at that time, they were hard-headed and stubborn. He said, I need to get them back to Israel. How I'm going to send right now all the Jews from all around the world back to Israel? I need at least 60 Moseses from different countries to bring them back. I'm not going to find those 60 Moseses. So he sent one Hitler. The biggest Zionist, unfortunately, existing today was Hitler. If it was not Hitler, there was not a Jewish country today. There was not a Jewish country today. Plus, these people didn't die. They didn't die. They're not dead. They're alive. They're there. And only then they say, oh man, what the hell did we do? You know, we had the opportunity to fight evil and we didn't do that. And that's what we are here for. We're here for to fight evil. To earn things like courage. To earn things to become positive. And those things you don't learn by going to school or just living your life. No. The only way you can earn to be courageous is by fighting something that really you're afraid of. Only then when you fight it and you win it, eventually you will win it. So you're not going to win the first time, no problem. The second time or the third time. And even if you die, you don't really die. Nobody died. We go back to where we came from. Everything is okay. Relax. Don't be afraid of death. Death is not existing. Death for the soul is not existing. Death for the body, yes, is existing. So I do believe that it's only a question of time before scientists will start talking about it. So it's only, I know that. And we don't hear about it right now because we're still in a very low level of ignorance. We're still very ignorant. And we are. Just like I told you about the Palestinian Jews. When I asked Israelis, You know, yeah, I know everything. So I asked him, who's the Palestinian Jews? Where are the last 10 tribes? Well, I don't know. Well, they're here, but they're Muslims today. And so because of that, so what I think as far as what's going on in Israel, if we're not going to convert them back into Judaism again, we're going to have a war and another war and another war. God doing it to us right now. Not only to us, He does it all around Europe. The Europeans and the Christians say, oh, no, we're not going to do nothing. Well, they don't do nothing. Meanwhile, it's becoming a big, big problem on them, and it's only a question of time before that thing is going to come up from their own countries. It's an evil philosophy that it's nothing to do with God, our God, the Jewish God, the Christian God, the Muslim God, the same God, the same thing. If you read all those three things, it's all the same. So if it's all the same, why all this mess? Because of ignorance and stupidity, and we are in the middle of it. And we let our system drive us completely crazy. And we're losing life. We kind of not losing life, but we're losing time. Instead of earning our courage and earning what we came here to do, we are just wasting time and wasting energy, and it's just a waste. It's not right. So, this book, hopefully, it's written in a story about kids who their grandparents, basically all the politicians who were all around the world who create all this big mess, got punished, moved into Africa, got locked up for 400 years, and after 400 years, the walls, and they got locked up in an area it's called Arusha. Arusha, it's in northern Tanzania. Matter of fact, I didn't even know that, but northern Tanzania, that's where DNA of human Adam and Eve started, in northern Tanzania. And only when I did the book, I said, damn, man, it must be from there, because I didn't know about that. I just looking for a place, and I found Tanzania. So it looks good, so I'll do it here. And then when I was looking into the National Geographic, and look it up, you can actually watch in YouTube, it's called National Geographic, the Human Genome Tree Family. Look at that, where they try to trace down all the human beings, where they came from. And they're coming to a proof of the Bible, which is Adam and Eve. You know, a long time, if Darwin was alive today, he was running away because there's no such a thing. Human being did not come from a monkey. Did not. And DNA proved that. So if human being did not come from a monkey, where he came from? Oh, well, scientists don't know it yet. There's a lot of things that science don't know. They're telling us like what they know, but they don't. They don't know a lot of things. And me, as somebody who worked a lot with scientists, worked with them on all kinds of problems, and solving problems and technical problems, I deal with a lot of engineers, and I see the stupidity of them, and I said, thank God, that's why I'm in business. Because they're so hard-headed and so square that, you know, I used to kind of be mad, but I'm not mad, I'm kind of happy. Because I make money out of it, and it's okay. No problem. Okay? I'm not making gazillions, but it's good, no problem. I will make, it's coming. I have to finish the book first. So, that's what's going on. Matter of fact, in the book, there is a way how we, for example, how energy become energy. You know, a lot of people say about hydrocarbon fuel. I was talking to Boris about it and some other people. Hydrocarbon fuel, that's another mist, okay? That's another baloney, excuse my language, another lie. Hydrocarbon fuel does not come from dinosaurs. Hydrocarbon fuel does not come from decay. It can, absolutely, and some sections of it is, but not the hydrocarbon fuel that we are driving on. It's too much of it, and its existence is coming, oh, it's infinite, it's infinite. Well, it's infinite, how come it's never finished? How come you have that in Saudi Arabia for the last 100 years now? They've been drilling and confining, you say it's infinite. It's not infinite. Where is it coming from? Hydrocarbon fuel, it's a product, it's a byproduct of the results that on the earth where we're sitting on. We are sitting on a nuclear reactor. It's a ball. Now, by the way, the whole system is spinning is about 8,000 RPM. We don't even feel it. We think, oh, everything is very quiet. No, it's not. The whole universe is spinning in 8,000 RPM. Everything is spinning, but we don't see it. Just like when you drive a car, you can drive 200 miles an hour. Inside, everything is good, but outside, you just put your hand and you see it. That's exactly where we are. We are in an energy soup. Very, very fast and very, very strong. So, what happened on this earth? This earth, we have all the oceans that's sitting around, and when the ocean water sipping through the cracks in the magma. There is cracks, we're sitting on tectonic plates. What happened to all the water? Where the water goes through? Well, we know that there's cracks. So if there's cracks and there's ocean here, we know what happened to water. If you have a small crack, there's a plumber, he can tell you if you have a small crack like that and the water dripping, well, guess what? It's going to find its way through the crack. So what happened to all the seawater? Where they go? They go into the earth. And when they go into the earth, they get into the mantle eventually. By the time they get into the mantle, they break down. There is tremendous pressure. We're talking here close to about 60,000 psi pressure, and we're talking close to about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? What happened in 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit to water and to rock? The rock is melting. Within the rock you have carbon. This carbon becomes like a gas format. When carbon and water, when water break down into hydrogen and carbon, they get mixed up. And when they get mixed up, in the beginning, from the center, they start pushing all around in a gas format. When they start pushing around, they go through the different layers of the earth. And then when they get through the different layers, they become cool. They're cold. And when they get colder, they become liquid. And this liquid, that's what they call hydrocarbon liquid. Later on, with distillation, you break down the water and you remove the water, the sulfur, all the material that there is in there, and you produce the hydrocarbon fuel, what we call gasoline or different type of fuel. So why did they call it fossil fuel? When they call it fossil fuel, when they start drilling close to about 100 years ago, when they start drilling, they didn't really have to drill because it was coming up from the different places on Earth, you know? So if it came out from different places, there was no dinosaur that they're just popping out. No, it came up as a fuel format. So when they start looking into it, and they put it in the microscope, and they saw that it came with animal product and all kind of carbon, all kind of fossil type of product. So that's where the name came from. They call it fossil fuel. It's not fossil fuel. All right. We're always gonna have fuel. Always. We're always gonna have oil. Always. We don't need the oil as far as major energy. We don't because we are sitting on the earth on a nuclear reactor. We don't need to make another nuclear reactor on the outside. We can just take the power from the inside. We don't know a lot of those things, and that's part of the problem. That's why ignorance. That's why it's costing us so much money in the pocket. That's why we're living, chasing the dollar just to make a living, just to be free, and we're not. In this book, it will show you. It's a futuristic book that happens about 400 years from now. It will show you what happened to all those kids who travel around the world and how the world look like if we do few changes, if we do few steps. When there is one God religion, no more Islam baloney, no more all these problems that existing, no more violent, just easy life
They
and
don't
common
look
sense.
like heaven.
What?
They don't look like heaven.
It's closer to heaven. It will never be
Then
like heaven.
okay.
It will never. No, it will never be like heaven because we are here as a human souls coming for a test.
Mm-hmm.
It will never be like heaven. We're always going to have problems, always. But it's going to be closer to heaven than what we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you have some few $100,000 in your pocket. You don't have to chase the mortgage. You already paid the freaking thing. You're okay with that? Now you just pay a little taxes here, a little taxes there. But you have money to take care of yourself. You know, you don't have the violence that existed right now because of the different religion. Food is cheap, energy is cheap. No more. None of those problems. Medical is cheap. The justice system working right. Everything is normal, more or less. You're always going to have problems, yes, but just easier. That's all. That's what this book is all about. It is in a format of it is in a story format, and there is a lot of humor there, especially about the politicians. I couldn't help it, but that's what it is. So I think if people will start looking at this view the way I see it and the way other people with clinical death see it, then our life is going to be very, very, very different. We will start demanding those politicians to do what they're supposed to do. As a matter of fact, now I finished with the book, I already start getting back into a little bit of politics, and I start pushing to a few things in there, absolutely. Because I think one of the things that really going to propel the system in our life to a better situation is financial freedom. And there is a way to make financial freedom. There is a way. It's not so tough and crazy the way it is. It's tough and crazy the way it is right now because we are under control. Control of the banking system, on all these financial system that completely choking us taking the little people to let them to be free. There is a way to do that. And in this book, it did happen. And banking now becoming just like any other business. They have to fight for business just like anybody else. They don't get all those special privileges. You just do business just decent like anybody else do it. That's what it is all about. You came a little late, Jack. This is Jack. Jack Aspel. You remember him, Jimmy? This is Jack Aspel. No, hey.
There it is. Nice to see you.
That's how we met, because of Jack.
All right, man.
Yeah. So that's it. That's what the book is all about. And I think there is a lot of things that you can learn from it. I hope I will be able to give you a view on life, how they're really supposed to be, to what we really get here. And what we get here, we have a very, very tough life. This system in here, it's very, very, very tough, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. In this book, certain steps that was done, flip, all the system is just changed. And that's what I think, and I did try. I missed one meeting last week, but I was coming up another meeting. I'm trying to get Rick Scott into a financial system. Yes, don't you be laughing, because he was laughing too. Everybody was laughing, but I don't care what people laugh. I'm telling you, I just like to do things. Everything's okay. It's coming up. I don't like him either. I don't like politicians. No, I don't care about politicians. I don't like them. They're all the same.
So what do you want Rick Scott to
They
do?
talk a lot.
It's in the husband.
They talk a lot and they don't do much. And that's the problem. That's exactly the problem. And in it, you can see, if you read this book, you see the political system is completely different. No more political dynasties. No lawyers allowed to be a politician. No. Matter of fact, no lawyers allowed to be a judge. No more judges, lawyers. Business people who are 5 years and over in a business, have a good moral characters. They want to be a judge? Yes, absolutely. Come, you sit down with a judge, you learn from him for a whole year what he does, what he doesn't do. So the lawyer is only there to write and to advise. No lawyers in the political system and no lawyers as judges.
So how do
They're a
they-
disaster.
How do they know the law?
He cared. He
One
learned.
Trial and error.
No.
Yeah, chop one baby in half and let the other one live.
No trial and error. No. You have to have the mental capacity to be able
Who decides
to
that?
be what?
Who decides that you
There's
have
going to be a
the mental
committee. There's
capacity?
going to be a committee of
Democracy.
what?
Democracy.
No.
Voting.
No. There's a committee of judges. And let's say you have.
Where did they come
One
from?
second. One question at a time. There is a committee of judges. Now let's say you have a business. You run for 5, 6, 10 years. You have a good reputation. You're a good guy, and you want to be a lawyer. You want to be a judge. Excuse me. So you petition your name into that. They're going to look into your background, see who you are. If you have a good reputation, a reputation is everything. Your good reputation, you're a good guy, everything is good. One second, and you have the mental capacity to be a judge, then they will invite you in, they will interview you. They like you, you have the right thing,
Who created them?
Right.
they are already there.
Did they just pop in here
No,
from heaven
no.
also?
Those were the
That's why you need
those-
to buy the book and see how that did happen.
Those were the judges from already.
Oh,
right?
this is from your book. This is fictional.
This is part of the book. Yes, this is part of the book,
Okay.
and all those questions was answered in there. I tell you something else. When I saw that, I know that the only way to change things around and to do things is to go into politics. And I did. I tried to go into politics, not as a politician, because I don't want to be politician.
That's
I
what
want
they
to
all
have
say.
good.
They all want to be just judges.
One second. You need to buy the book, and you have all the answers. All your questions are going to be answered. I promise you
have
that.
those questions.
And if you have more questions and you couldn't figure it out, call me. I'll give you my business card, my phone number. I'll be
And you
more
got a
than
couch
happy.
too? You got a couch too?
No, I don't have couch, but I put your cardboard on the floor in the warehouse. You can be there anytime you want. No problem.
And 3 squares a day?
So so I think part of the problems that we have is because we have lawyers who controlling our life and becoming judges, and we have a miserable life because of that. I think, and I know that there is a very good people out there with common sense and that can be a better judges, that can help to bring this life into a better shape, and that's why in this book the lawyers are not allowed to be in a political system, not allowed to be the judges. You want to be a lawyer, no problem, you become a lawyer, you do what you need to do, but you're limited, okay? And one of the reasons we have those tough life and crazy life is because of those lawyers going in there and writing those crazy laws and completely controlling our life. And it's all about big cliques between themselves, and there's no justice. There's no justice. Okay, it's who you know, the right lawyer who knows the right judge, and he pick up a phone and he call him up. Oh, you pay me for the election, and they pay you that. It's all corruption. Okay, so that's how it works. So in this book, life are very different according to how we see them and how they're working. And this is, we have the ability to do it to ourselves, and we should. That's it. All right.
So what kind of a business is the appliance business?
If what? Oh, questions? Any questions? Well, the guy with the questions, now he left. That's okay. We're supposed to ask questions, you go, no problem. Anybody else have a question?
What is the appliance business in which you were or you are now?
Oh, I do restaurant equipment, commercial appliances. Restaurants, hotels, schools, institutions, all day.
It's the best.
Gas, refrigeration, coolers, all this stuff. Yes, that's what I do. I do this, and I do service. That's what generates money. And then I build patents for different applications, for different factories. And now I finished with that project. The book is hard. It's hard because I don't like to write, but I had to get it off my chest.
Did you have any assistance in writing?
What? Yes, absolutely, especially in English. English is a horrible language to write. You need Czech spellers all the time. In Hebrew, you don't have no Czech speller, for example. You know, in Hebrew, as soon as you learn the language, you're writing like it's a problem. In English, I'm like, what the hell? So instead of writing a book, I was fighting with myself with a Czech speller all the time. And I was wasting time, a lot of time on the Czech speller. So yes, I got help. Yes, I did. Without the help, there's no way I could write a book. No, not in English. I could write in Hebrew, not in English. Yeah.
When you said that we choose our lives, before we come back.
Yes.
Now I know you had experience in the kibbutz, okay,
Yes.
and you worked with appliances and things like that.
In the kibbutz, I work not the appliances. I did
But
diesel equipment,
you made a
farm
reference to like
equipment.
10 to 15 years. I mean, when are those decisions made? Before you come back, or continually through
Before, I think, in my case, I think that I chose to be born in Tel Aviv, knowing what would happen. Everything that you choose, you chose, Jimmy, in your case, you chose to be born in Coconut Grove. You chose that. You chose this family. You chose because, I don't know why, because every person has his own thing that you need to learn. You need to learn something from your father, you need to learn something from your mother, you need to learn those things. And by choosing that environment, you will go to a certain path. And in this path, this is your choices about what to do.
Right.
Now, if you choose to the left or you choose to the right, this direction will lead you to wherever you are, okay? But those things will choose. So if I look at my life, yes, I did choose to be born in Neve Sharet. It was a very tough neighborhood, tough criminal neighborhood in Israel at the time. And I hang around with a bunch of criminals in the beginning, and I learned my lessons, and I had to get the hell out of there from court order by the age of 12 because I was not ready to 13. And the judge at that time threatened me.
Was he a lawyer?
If what?
Was the judge a lawyer?
No, the judge. I don't know if this one was a lawyer.
Original, yes.
But I wouldn't be. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I really don't know. That was 12 years old. I have no idea.
That's your problem lawyers right there at 12.
No. The judge was pretty good. He didn't. He told me at the time I was 12 years old and I got caught. I had a bicycle business, stolen bicycle business. I was doing pretty good. I was doing good money at the time, and I thought I'm going in the right way until I got caught. And then when I got caught, the judge tell me and my mom and my father was next to me, if you come back here again by the age of 13, if I see you here again, this time I'm going to lock you up in a juvenile institution and you're not getting out until you're 18. I'm like, I was kind of nervous, So he told me, you're either going to go to a religious school or you're going to go to a kibbutz, but you're not going to stay in your own neighborhood because we know where you're going to go. And that's it. So I was in a religious. My father have some kind of yeshiva school over in Jerusalem. So they sent me there, and I was there for exactly about 4 days. I got there by Sunday. By Wednesday, I said, go. Okay. So now I said I had no choice. I said, okay, I'm gonna go to kibbutz. But this time I knew I have to be quiet in kibbutz, not to mess up too much. At least to pass 13, because I don't want to see this judge. And that's what happened. And in the kibbutz, I loved it.
What kibbutz did you go to?
I was in kibbutz Galon next to Kiryat Gat. And in the kibbutz, I did love it because in the kibbutz, when you grew up in Tel Aviv, in a neighborhood where we are, we were like kind of, I would say like mid-poor type of families, okay? And then we have the neighborhoods next to us, which was very rich and fancy neighborhoods. And I said, hey, if they're rich and that, like, we can steal the bicycle from them. And that's what I was doing. I was stealing bicycles from all around them. Okay? And that's when the police start putting decoys. And when they put decoys, they caught one of the thieves. And then they asked him, who are you selling it to? So he said, I'm selling it to him. And that's how I got caught. So, but I always felt the pressure as a kid because they were rich and we were poor. I said, so I felt kind of pressure. As a kid, you feel right away the pressure, the difference between your level to the other kids' level when they come from rich homes. But in the kibbutz, it was not existed. In the kibbutz, it's very different. You don't have no money pressure. You just have work and all kind of interesting things. So the first job was working in the electrical shop, and then at the same time when I was working in the electrical shop, they sent me to school and I learned electricity. And of about 3.5 years, 2.5 to 3 years, something like that. When I learned the whole subject about electricity, so okay, that's it. I know it. Now it's too boring. I want to move into the farm equipment, and and after a fight with them, they put me to work in the garage, and over there the same thing happened again. We learn on farm equipment, tractors, combiners, some mainly diesel and gasoline equipment, and then after about 2.5 to 3 years again, I said, okay, that's it. Okay, I need something else. Okay, so that's the pattern of life. Yeah, but for your question about all the skills, yes. The electrical and machine skills came because I wanted to learn, and I like working hard. I like working, and I don't mind cleaning the floors and doing the dirt job. No problems with me at all. It's always, I felt comfortable with it, and I knew that to learn something good, you really have to learn from the basic. And even if you start by sweeping the floor, and a lot of jobs I started like that. And even when I got here to the U.S. and I had a journeyman license from Israel in electricity. And when I got here to the US, I went up to work because the system here is very different. Different voltages, different system as far as installation and structure. I went up to work for an electrical company that paid dirt. I didn't mind the dirt. I said, I don't care. I'll do whatever you need to do just to learn the system. So I worked with them for 1.5 years, and they threw me up. I was getting paid $5 an hour, and I was billing the customer $90 an hour. And that was 10 years ago. And I barely have enough money to go and to make a living.
That was 30 years ago.
30 years ago, I'm sorry.
Let me rephrase
Yeah, he knows better than me, that's right. He knows that long, yeah.
Let me rephrase my question a little bit. I mean, you say you make that choice initially
Yes.
while you're back there.
That's right.
Okay, and you come, but do those choices continue to evolve? Because you touched on the law of
Absolutely.
attraction.
Yes.
So after we come here, we're continuing to make those choices well in
Absolutely.
advance.
We continue to make those choices all the time, but you already have the pattern. You already started. In your case, Jimmy, you came from Coconut Grove, and your environment, your family, your brothers, your sisters, the whole thing, the whole area. It's the choices that are going to come to you, and wherever you choose, that's where it's going to lead you to another way. And life, to prove this point that this life life is very similar to, not similar, this life is like a software program. It's 100% software program, okay? And just like a software program, and you can software program, and you think you choose, yeah, but you choose, you have the choices. But somebody here is a programmer, somebody behind it designed it, so you can choose wherever you want to go, but there is a programmer for that. So yes, you choose everything about this life. My suggestion for people is choose right. Do the best thing for the long run. Don't think about the short run. Think about the long run. Because for the long run, you will get rewarded for everything. Everything you did good, you get rewarded. You say, well, if I'm going to give this guy a few dollars, I'm not talking about the homeless on the street. I'm talking about things that you know by doing the right thing, it's, you think nobody see it? They see everything. On the other side, every detail that happens here, they know. Everything is aware, and everything there is a price for it, and you will get rewarded. I guarantee you that. So if you think, oh, maybe nobody sees it, that's not true. They see everything. You might not get reward right now, but when you get there, you get the reward. And for that, I want to say a little story about what happened to me. When I got this accident, I remember before I got to the other side, I saw how life, people say, oh, you see the light. I didn't see no light. What I saw how life runs in a pictures, like a slideshow. So I see this slideshow, pack, like very fast, and they go pack. And every slideshow that I see, even though it was fast, I was able to absorb every details in there. And I saw everything. Unfortunately, I saw only the messed up situation that I say. I saw all the bad things that I did in life, I saw.
How long ago was this accident?
This accident was 2003. And now, because I saw all the details and I felt horrible pain. I don't know how to explain this pain. I've been many times in hospital. Different accident. No, not because of physical, but I broke my legs, my hands. I was in a paratrooping unit. I was always a little bit daredevil. I always taking things that, every once in a while you slip, so you cut your hands, you cut this, you break that. So it was very normal for me to be, at least I would say every 2 to 3 years I will be in a hospital for something broken down, because I broke it, because I did something, or some kind of sport or something. So when I had this pain, when I saw those slides and I felt so bad, it was very weird pain. I'll never forget this pain. I felt pain like in my stomach. It's like you need to go to the bathroom, but you can't. You just can't. And it was so painful that every picture that I see, I'm like, oh man, what? And then when I saw myself in that big room and everybody white, and I saw the counter in the front, and I thought, that's why I thought I'm in a hospital. I thought I'm in a hospital, and everybody here are white with a hospital gown, and I'm waiting on the line and just to see the doctors. I'm still telling myself I'm in a hospital. I refuse to see myself as being on the other side. So all I'm telling you is like that. It happens to me, and it happens to a lot of people who have the clinical death. The first thing that happens when they're waking up and they're getting out, what do? They ask forgiveness. Anything that they see that they messed up, they go and they ask forgiveness. They try to repair that. So my suggestion for you, you don't want no stomach ache, don't do bad things that are going to hurt you in your stomach.
So when you came back, you tried to repair all those
I did.
things?
I did.
So all those slides that you saw that you didn't like, now you're trying to repair
Yes.
it?
Yes.
So have you finished repairing all those slides?
I don't remember the whole thing. I don't remember the whole thing, but I can tell you that. I do the best I can, yes, absolutely. I do the best I can. If I see something that I just think I might regret that, I might see the slide. No. I do it right now. I'll pay it off right now. I'm going to be broke. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to see the slide again. I don't want the stomach again. I don't want the stomach ache again. It's horrible. So I do know that this is my suggestion for people as advice. Don't do something that you know you're wrong, because they will come back at you. Because they see everything. It's not that they see everything. You see that. You see the whole thing. That's another thing that happened. That's another my understanding about what's going on between here and there. Because as soon as we live here, as soon as the soul leave out, get out of the body, what happened? This soul becomes part of the Creator, with the intelligence of the Creator, and you see everything, and everything is understood, and everything you realize everything, and you know exactly what's going on. And then you look into your life, and then you know if you messed up or you didn't mess up. If you messed up, no big deal. You have another cycle to come out. But you see the whole picture of what's really going on here. So that's how this system is working. So don't mess up. I'm telling you right now. Because before you didn't know, now you know. So because now that you know, and you're going to mess up again, your pain is going to be 10 times stronger. So don't do that. Just do the best you can. Do the best you can. Always work thinking about what for the long run. There's no death. Everything's okay. Don't you worry about nothing. Yes, everything's okay. Everything's okay. The worst thing that can happen, it cannot. Nothing happen. Nothing. Everything is just fine. Just do the best you can. So when next cycle you come up, it'll be much easier and much nicer, and the reward are much, much bigger. That's how it works.
What happened to these ISIS when they die?
Well, I tell you what happened when they die. Those people, because they're fanatics, okay? They die. Let's say you're a Muslim fanatic and you just blew yourself up, okay?
Yes.
You go up to her, you go, and then you say, oh man, what the hell did I do? It's the same God. What did I do? Who did I fight for? I knew I messed up. Guess what? Guess what he's going to do?
Come back.
He come back as a religious Jew. Who somebody else going to blow him up.
So you're really an ISIS in disguise.
That's it. You don't know. You don't know. That's how it is. That's why you need to keep on balance. You need to keep on balance. You need to keep open mind. You need to look into everything. Don't close your mind for nothing. Don't close it. It doesn't cost nothing. You're only going to learn from it by opening your mind and doing the right thing, and then give yourself a chance to be open. Don't take people's words, especially human beings. Human beings that keep telling you, I have friends who say, oh, this rabbi said like that, or this rabbi said. I said, listen, the rabbis are very good. With all the respect, I have a lot of respect, but many times they're wrong. They're wrong. So what? We have to take what they're wrong? No. You have the freedom to do and to be who you are. That's what it is.
So,
It's a human soul. You are part of the Creator.
so you're giving us a little class here, right?
I'm giving you a little,
So-
a little thing so you don't. So
No,
hey,
no, no,
so you
I
don't
got
have-
that, I got that. So, some people go to Kabbalah classes, some
Yeah.
people go to Torah classes, some people go to whatever.
Yeah.
What you're teaching, does it have a name?
No. No.
So,
I don't, because
so-
I tell you, I did
A
do,
lot of it is from the Kabbalah. by
I
the
know
way.
this, yeah.
I did do
The
Kabbalah.
metrics.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. Like
Well, Kabbalah is like everything is wonderful, you know, so, and just, you know, give.
Yes, Kabbalah, yes. I tell you, I did do Kabbalah a long
So,
time
but
ago.
I'm saying, so would you consider what you're
To a certain degree, yes. To a certain degree, there's a lot of
naming what you're teaching and
there is a lot of good things. There's a lot of true and good things about the Talmud. Some sections of it is very much like Kabbalah, yeah. But where I'm kind of out of it is where they says when they separate between Jews and Christians and Muslims.
No,
I don't agree with that.
I got
no.
that. I got that.
I don't agree with that. I know that all human beings.
So
all
have you
human
thought
beings-
about
This cycle you will choose the Jew. Next cycle you choose the Muslim. Next cycle you become the Chinese. Some other cycle because it's endless. It's endless.
But there is no religion, right?
There is no religion. Not over there. Over here. Part of the problem. Over there, there's no religion. There's God. No religion. No religion, Jack. Nobody go
No,
with the
but
yarmulke.
400
Nobody.
years from
I tell you, if I see one with the yarmulke, I'll become a real Orthodox now.
No, 400 years from now, is that what your book is? 400 years?
This book is the story happened 400 years. yes.
So then,
Then there is no,
There's no
then
religion.
no religion. There is religion, one God religion.
And,
right.
if you,
There is God.
and can you be in there without a religion? You say, I don't like the religion, or everybody has
Yes,
a problem.
absolute. No. It's
don't think
free.
it's not
all
religion.
total
I don't think it's
freedom.
called
You
religion.
choose whatever you want, any religion you want. You have a complete freedom. When you have, that's part of the thing. When you
So-
have financial
so my que-
financial freedom in your
Yeah,
pocket,
what's your question?
you have financial,
Yeah.
you have mental freedom in your head.
Yes.
so my point is, why
Sorry.
not start teach? I mean, you're starting to teach it by writing this book, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen, you know, it takes 400 years to happen, right?
Well, in this book, yeah.
Yeah, so are you starting to teach this message now?
That's what this book is all about.
So he's
Yes,
put
that's what this
Right.
book is all about. This book,
So are you going to do
Jack, this
It's
book
a new
exhausted me.
Jesus.
Completely exhausted me. I feel I need to
coming
relax.
from Israel. See?
Yes, yes, this book is all about,
Second
yeah,
Jesus.
absolutely. I think people should know that, yes, I think people should know that. I think people in the Middle East, where are fanatics, Muslims today, they should know that they are original Jews, yes.
What
Matter of
about-
fact,
what
in
about
this book
the-
it happens.
What about the fanatic Jews?
The fanatic Jews, they will know that they were fanatic Muslims before, yes. And we keep cycling, and because it's endless, no problem. God has no problem with it. God doesn't rush for time. There's no time on the other side, by the way. Time is only here. There's no time there.
When you come back, you better come back as a teacher to finish your job.
I don't know when I come back. Maybe I don't know.
No,
You never
no,
know.
he's
Maybe
gonna
you'll
teach
be
now.
crazy.
That's what it's all about. And I think this will open people's eyes. Yes, absolutely. I think people should know that and should understand that religion, it's only here. It's not there. And we can make life easier and better for all human beings because we are all from the same source. All human beings. When God created Adam and Eve, He did not create Adam and Eve, and then another Adam and Eve, Muslim and Muslim man and Muslim woman, and then another Adam and Eve, a Christian. No, Adam and Eve. That's it. Same family, same thing. That's what happened. That's true. I'm not saying read the Bible. That's it. I just saw it. So I'm telling you, yes, it's true. It is true. There is God. There is God. There is connection between what's going on there and here. And it's very, very much alive. So, but our explanation, our understanding is messed up. So all I'm trying to do, I'm trying to tell you, yes, there is, but let's see it in the right way. That's it. That's how it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome.